Good morning and welcome to We Are Soccer, the show that talks about pro soccer, youth soccer, and everything in between. I'm your host, Craig Hearn. Today, I've got a special guest with me, Nate Janulis. Nate, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining.
What's going on? Thanks for having me again.
All right. Big show today. Just do a quick rundown here. We've got Champions League Final we'll chat about. We've got the USA men's national team who played Thursday night. We'll talk about their game against Honduras. The Euros are almost here. We're 6 days away from the Euros. Can you believe that? 6 days. And then we talk to two local club owners. We have some soccer clubs here in the Metro Detroit area, and we're bringing in two owners of different clubs to chat about how they got started, how their club's doing. And Nate and I'll just pepper them with questions and see how it goes. All right.
I got a couple good ones.
Yeah, it should be a good one. All right, so stick around to the end. Those two club owners are coming in at about 8:40 a.m. this morning. Big thank you to our friends who bring you the show. I got to give them a shout out here. So a big shout out to Detroit City FC, Michigan Jaguars, Tim Merritt and Ross Mortgage, Superior Family Dental, and Next Level Training. Without you guys, the show doesn't happen. So very big thank you to our friends there. Some shout outs right off the bat. I always think I should do some big kind of like shout out.
Shout out corner.
Maybe Nate will be doing that from here on out.
I got a lot of energy.
Shout out to our producer Adam, who is not with us here this morning as he is getting married this weekend. So big congrats there, Adam. And thank you to everybody who showed up last week to the We Are Soccer Champions League viewing party at the Detroit City Fieldhouse. We had a blast. Thank you to Detroit City for letting us use the Fieldhouse. What an absolutely stunning facility they have out there. 2 indoor fields, a bar, fully stocked, beers on draft. If you haven't been down to the Detroit City FC Fieldhouse, get down there because it was great. But again, shout out and thank you to everybody who showed up to our viewing party. It was great to meet everybody. It was great to talk and watch some soccer with some local fans. Big shout out to Christian Pulisic and Chelsea for winning that Champions League game. We'll talk about that game in a minute or two, but big shout out there. Very, very big for Christian Pulisic, the young American. And big shout out to Stick behind the scenes here for filling in for Adam. Thank you, Stick, for joining the We Are Soccer crew this morning. Very much appreciate it. Also, do us a favor. Stick is from the Woodward Crew Sports Network, where we're here, the Woodward Sports Network. Do us a favor, give them a follow on all their socials that are on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, you name it, they're on it. Download their app. We very much appreciate what Woodward Sports does for us at We Are Soccer. So thank you, Stick and the Woodward Sports crew. Before we jump in, just kind of want to share some sad news that happened over the past week here. Nationals coach Tony Deacon sadly passed away last Sunday. For all who knew him, he was a great coach and a very nice dude. Everybody speaks very highly of Tony, so it's a big shock to the soccer community here in the Metro Detroit area and the people he coached and touched over the years. So thoughts and prayers to the Deacon family. Tony will be missed. So sad news there. All right, let's jump in, shall we, Nate? Let's start jumping into some of the soccer news from around the world. We're going to do soccer news around the world, brought to you by our friend Tim Merritt and Ross Mortgage. Champions League Final.
Stuttgart won.
No, Stuttgart weren't playing. I'm sorry.
Two players from Stuttgart were playing, therefore they won. This is how it works.
That's how it works in your mind.
One of them killed the best player on the field.
He did. He really did, which
and
is
ended
unfortunate.
Belgium's hopes and dreams.
The game between Chelsea and Man City, just so everybody's aware, Chelsea played Man City. Chelsea won 1-0. UEFA put out a poll right before a few days before the game, and you know, who's going to win is what they pretty much ask. 58% of the people who voted picked Man City. I personally had money on Man City winning. I thought they were going to take it. I did not think that Chelsea and Thomas Tuchel were going to win this game. I was wrong, and 58% of the world was wrong.
I would have never made that bet against against City for sure. I thought they were the better team. I was in the back of my head hoping and praying for all things possible to go belly up for City, just because United fan, and I'm a jerk. But I would have never. I can't look back and go, oh yeah, for sure. I thought Chelsea was going to win. No, if I had to put money on the game, I was going to say City.
Yep.
You know, heart wanted Chelsea to win. Mind definitely thought City was going to win. But it was a great game.
I honestly did not think that Chelsea were going to have a chance. I thought it'd be a 1-0 game, maybe a 2-0 game, Man City, but that wasn't the case. Chelsea really had a plan in place. They came out, they executed that plan to perfection, and they probably should have won 2-0. I thought they created some of the better chances. Chelsea was just organized defensively. They looked like they didn't control the game because they didn't have much possession, but honestly, they did control the game. I thought they did a phenomenal job. As we called out in our shout-outs, shout out to Christian Pulisic for winning. Did you know that Christian Pulisic is the first American player to play in and win the Champions League? Notice the words I used there. First American to play in a Champions League final and win, right? Not the first American to win a Champions League final. So I got to read this to make sure I get it right, so bear with me. The first American to win the Champions League was Jadon Sancho.
Ooh.
He won the Champions League in the 1996-97 season with Borussia Dortmund. He did not play in the game, though. He was also the first American to be signed by Manchester United.
So you're telling me the first American to be in or to win the Champions League was also an American who was with Dortmund, where Pulisic came from and Tuchel coached?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. I like how you tie everything back.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Went deep down that one.
Yeah. So we're straight spitting facts today, folks. I mean, we're coming out with it.
Better than Wikipedia.
Jadon Sancho, first American to win the Champions League. He also is right now the technical director for the LA Galaxy, in case you were wondering. But back to the game. There was a bit of an incident there. Rudiger and Kevin De Bruyne had it coming together, and Kevin De Bruyne's face looks like it came off the worst of it. He has some facial fractures. Right now, the Belgian player is... There's no word whether he'll be playing in the Euros, which starts in 6 days. But you got to think that he's not going to be playing. I think he suffered a little bit of an orbital fracture there. So that is one of the top players in the world who may not be playing in the biggest competition happening this summer.
Weeks out from with a facial fracture, unless they can develop some type of really cool Batman special mask that they always do with players, and then somehow get them up to speed. You can imagine the guy's out. I mean, it was a bad hit. I don't really think Rudiger intended to do what he did. Obviously, it was just two guys playing for a ball, and that's what happens.
Yeah, that's soccer, and it's a contact sport.
Malice there.
Everybody forgets it's a contact sport, right?
Yep.
And things happen within the sport, and that's just one of the kind of the bad luck incidents. So unfortunate there. Just coming off. We'll talk about this a little later. Coming off that win for Chelsea, Thomas Tuchel has signed a new 2-year agreement with Chelsea. So
he'll be fired in 2 years or a year and a half.
I think it might have been a 3-year agreement. My apologies there, but he'll be fired in about a year and a half.
Yeah,
and
year
then
and a
he'll
half.
walk away
After they
with,
start slow.
with $30+ million from Abramovich and the Chelsea
going to retire.
War chest, right? So yeah,
I will say, I mean, Kai Havertz, that goal that he had, and he was one of the players when he was signed. Yeah, obviously, I follow the Bundesliga. I thought he was the better signing out of everyone they picked up.
Most expensive player.
And I still think he will be and come through for him. I know he's been struggling a little bit here and there, but there's always a jump when you go from Bundesliga to Premier League. I think he will be one of the better players for Chelsea next year. I thought he was the better signing based on how he played in the Bundesliga and what he did. So it was good to see him actually come through.
I'll agree with you. I think there was a debate, obviously, with a lot of American fans of should Pulisic start, should Kai Havertz start, what should the lineup be? I think Chelsea won 1-0, so Thomas Tuchel got it 100% correct. He got it right.
I got a bone to pick with that because I know Pulisic's always been griping for not starting, and it might be an unpopular opinion, and I like Pulisic, but to me, you're on a competitive team. Doesn't mean you start all the time because you're deep and you got lots of players, and Chelsea is deep and they have lots of players. And I think it's a testament, though, that he does get the playing time he gets. But this idea that he should automatically start, I mean, sometimes the game plan doesn't warrant that. Sometimes you go, all right, we want to sit in, or we want to do this, or we have more physical player, or we want to hit him with speed, or whatever have you. And then that's when certain players get subbed in at certain times, at certain key moments of the game. And the complaints of, why isn't he starting every game? Why isn't he starting every game? This isn't Fulham. This isn't a mid-league or mid-table team. This is an upper team that's competing, and that's what happens.
Agreed. I also like the fact that Christian Pulisic can be a game changer when he comes off the bench, right? That kid just is pure fire and energy and goes at players. And you bring someone like that off the bench in the 65th minute mark, running at tired defenders, that'll change a game. So that helps too, right?
All right.
So anyway, onwards and upwards. Chelsea, congratulations. Champions League winners there. As we said, Thomas Tuchel rewarded with a new contract, but he'll probably be fired in about a year and a half when they slip to 7th or 8th in the table, and they want to change things up again. So it is what it is. Why don't we move on right now to talk about the USA versus Honduras game that happened on Thursday? I don't know. I think a lot of us expected the USA team with, you've got Weston McKennie, you've got Serginho Dest, you've got Pulisic, you've got Reyna, you've got Brooks. You've got Zach Steffen in goal. I think a lot of us thought that the USA would run out. It's on home soil that USA would run out winning 2-0, 3-0. I saw some predictions of 4-0. Well, that wasn't quite what happened, was it, Nate?
Could we even make the argument that on paper, where some of these players play, it's probably one of the better or best USA squads that you've had in time?
I would absolutely say it is the best squad that the USA has ever had on paper, for sure. Absolutely.
The disappointment that I had, or at least just when watching the game, is everyone just looked disjointed. It looked like no one was on the same page.
Yes, let me jump in and chat about that. I agree. It's the first game back. A lot of the players have been off for a week or two, and that's not a lot of time to get up to speed with the tactics that American coach Greg Berhalter wanted to put into place, possibly. You got to think a lot of these players, they are not the superstar on their team, right? So McKennie, who plays at Juventus, not the superstar there. He's probably middle, lower end of the starting 11 there. Serginho Dest of Barcelona, definitely not one of the stars there, as we know. Pulisic, not one of the stars at Chelsea, but up there. And then they come here and they're expected to be, the top 3 or 4 stars and really put into place what Berhalter wants them to do. It's a change of pace. This is international soccer. And I think as an American fan, we should just be lucky that we're getting to watch a lot of these players play right now. We're in a very good spot as a USA fan to have players like this who are on big teams in the world. But when they come together and play for that USA national team, it can take a little bit of time to get adjusted. We'll talk about it in a little bit, but we should also, if a lot of you folks are going to be watching the Euros coming up, the same thing's going to happen. These players have been playing with their club teams all year, and all of a sudden they're expected to jump in and fill a different role with their national team. So we'll be very wary of that. This game in particular, the USA took a long time to get going. As Nate said, very disjointed. I thought the defensive tactics were just off a little bit. They couldn't hold the ball properly. We might have had more possession, but Honduras did a very good job of soaking up pressure. They came out and had a game plan in place that was very simple. Soak up pressure, look to counter, look to just break out when we get the ball, when we win the ball. They did a very good job, and they could have had 2 or 3 goals there. There were some flubs by Zach Steffen. One where he came out on a free kick, came out, flubbed at the ball got headed back across, and thank goodness Josh Sargent was there to use the back of his head on the goal line to head the ball out. An absolutely stunning defensive play by Josh Sargent. I don't know if we've already said this, but the USA did win 1-0. The goal came in the 89th minute. Jadon Sancho. Not probably the player anybody expected to score. A very nice goal. Cross in from probably about the 30-yard central midfield position, headed back by Weston McKennie, and then Jadon Sancho finished it into the upper net with his head. Very nice goal, but we probably should have been able to create more chances and put that away. And before we jump on the USA about, they should have scored more goals, they should have controlled a powerhouse of Honduras, because we all know Honduras is not a world powerhouse. Again, this is the USA's first competitive game in 15 months. So we've played some friendlies. We played Switzerland, we played Northern Ireland, we played very well in those games. But this is a competitive game, this is very different. So just be happy they won. Let's move on. Do you know who they play in the final on Sunday, Nate?
Well, rewinding on that.
Uh-oh.
A couple things. First thing, I know it's just Honduras, but at the same time, I mean, when can we start to give some of these, CONCACAF teams a little bit of respect at sometimes? I'm not saying you don't, but I'm saying you watch that, we're going to, it's just Honduras. It's just Honduras. We should murder them. It's like, come on. Obviously, Honduras didn't just walk in and go, we're playing the USA and, America, they're better than us and just going to smack us around. No, these guys come out to play. They have a chip on their shoulder. They really want to beat, the U.S. team and everything like that. And that actually gets them out of bed a little bit more than maybe playing another Central American team. And there's some talent there. And this expectation that USA should just walk in and because it's a smaller island, or a smaller Central American country or smaller island country like Jamaica, we should just win. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all.
I agree. I completely agree. We got to give Honduras a little bit more respect. I 100% agree.
And outside of the scoreline, I think when I was watching the game, the more disappointment is just how disjointed the team look.
Yep.
I don't think the team has yet carved out a leader. I think in times past, you had Dempsey, you had Landon Donovan, you had certain players on that team, U.S. men's national team, and actually every successful national team has that one guy who's the leader. Who's the leader on this team? Who's the outspoken guy? Who's the guy who's motivating them? Is it Pulisic? I don't know. Maybe. He doesn't kind of look at it at times. You'd maybe think he is, but he's also super young to be stepping up in that leadership role.
I think right now it has to be Sebastian Leggett in the middle. I think he's the one who has to step up and do that. I think you're right, though.
Is he the right guy to step up?
But time will tell in the next few months, years, who is that guy.
I think Yeovil certainly struggled for sure.
Yes.
I think this is a different team if Tyler Adams is out there. Hopefully he's good enough or healthy enough to get out there. If not, I think you have to look at maybe starting Kellen Acosta, which, next level training will be excited about.
Oh, absolutely.
But no, and I'm an Acosta, in all seriousness, I'm an Acosta fan. I like him a lot. I thought Brooks did very well. Thank you, Klinsmann, for bringing in Brooks.
Yes, that's the one thing. That's a topic for another day. I do want to hit upon two things. And Stick, if you could show the images we have of the stretcher girls.
Stretcher girls.
These girls, there were some pretty funny tweets going on about these girls. So the Honduras players were doing a little bit of time wasting. They were trying to play for the draw. And I think it was 5 or 6 players went down with injuries over the course of the last 20 or 30 minutes. And these girls came out. And
Does anyone have a story on this? Because I was watching this and I'm just confused.
Everybody was confused. I saw a really funny tweet that said, why is the one stretcher girl not wearing any pants? And here's some of the tweets that were, when I grow up, I want to be a CONCACAF stretcher girl. And is Honduras just flopping so they can see those stretcher girls? This was the big story going on Twitter because the game in the second half took a little bit of a boring side to it. I think both teams were kind of spent and trying to still figure each other out.
Is this some Lua cheerleaders? I mean,
I don't know.
You can't have cheerleaders in soccer, so we're going to go with stretcher girls?
There was at one point a Honduras player who went down, and unfortunately for him, the stretcher girls did not come out. The stretcher boys came out. He didn't look too happy that the stretcher boys came out. Yeah, boo. It sounds like a name of a rock band or something, or like a new band, the Stretcher Boys or the Stretcher. I don't know. Anyway, that was some kind of fun that was happening on Twitter during that game. The USA did win 1-0. They advance and play in the finals against arch rivals Mexico. 9 p.m. Eastern Time, Sunday in Denver. Mexico versus USA. This is one I will definitely be tuning in for. I know you will too. And I hope the rest of you guys will. This is going to be a good one. It's always fun when USA play Mexico. These two teams do not like each other. Both have young stars going. They both want to win. This will be fun. But how did Mexico get there, you say? USA struggled to beat Honduras 1-0. Mexico had to go to penalties to beat Costa Rica. Costa Rica, not exactly a powerhouse in the world. Mexico is, in my mind, a top 15, top 20 team in the world. They should not be struggling against a team like Costa Rica, but they did. And it just shows, again, that it's international soccer and the first game coming together. It can take a while for everything to click.
It goes to my point that you can't underestimate some of these teams, and you got to come out and you got to. It doesn't matter, what your history of these matches are. If you're Mexico and you're supposed to win, or you're USA and you should win because of the money you put in your program. No one's looking at that and caring. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So you got to come out, you got to play, and these teams are getting better and better in our region, which is good because then it pushes the other teams to get better and better.
Absolutely, 100% agree. Something negative that came out of that Mexico Costa Rica game. There was a 3-minute delay in the middle of that game. The stadium had to escort a section of the Mexican fans out and banned them because they were chanting hate speech, specifically gay slurs and hate speech, which I'm sorry, it's 2021. This is ridiculous. We should not be having fans who are chanting things like that. Be better, all right? I don't care what country you're from. You know what? This soccer is meant for everybody, all right? No matter what race, what anything you are, soccer is meant for everybody. So Mexican fans, just be better. That is not something I want to read moving forward, right? Just sad state of affairs. Mexican fans, get it together. Be better. I hope in the final here against USA, Mexican fans, USA fans can kind of can have a lot of fun, watch their team play, and there's no more hate speech or chants that are going on in the stadium. So just wanted to make sure we noted that. Be better, Mexican fans. Other quick news we want to hit upon that's happened in the last week. It looks almost certain that Conte is going to be heading to Spurs after he won the Serie A title with Inter Milan. He quickly, pretty much, I think a day or two after they won, he just resigned. He left Inter Milan. He did not get along with the board there. I think you saw that they are heavily in debt. They've taken out a big loan at Inter Milan, and he wanted nothing to do with that because they were going to have to sell players in order and do a rebuild. He is now the hot favorite to join Spurs. I do not believe it is a done deal yet. They are negotiating. Jose Mourinho was on around £17 million, which is about $20 million a year. At Spurs, will Conte get the same? I believe he probably will. What is one of the first things he's going to do? Is he going to re-sign Harry Kane? Is he going to talk to Harry Kane? Is Harry Kane resigned to leaving? Maybe the Conte comes in. He sticks around.
I think Kane's a done deal. I think he's
gone. Kane wants out.
I think he's not going to stick around for another manager and hope and pray like he has been. All I want to know is if Conte wins anything, can he please dedicate the win to himself again? Yes. Because that'd be awesome.
Yes. And for those of you that don't know, once Inter Milan won the Serie A, Conte came out in a news conference and said, "I dedicate this win to myself because it's been a very tough year and we had to do a lot." Yes, a very humble man he is.
Humbly dedicating it to
that
himself.
confused the hell out of me, I'll be honest, when I read that.
Awesome.
I had to read it twice. Tuchel signs two-year contract, a new contract at Chelsea. We already talked about that. Olivier Giroud signs a new 2-year deal at Chelsea. Surprises me a little bit. He was the backup. He did not play very much this year. Chelsea, I believe, are going to sign another striker. So not only will Giroud see less time than he did this year, he's just going to be sitting there doing nothing. I think he could have gone somewhere else.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer made a career of being a guy who came off the bench and scored goals and had a very illustrious career
100% agree, but I don't even think Giroud's coming off the bench, so again, lots
Maybe
of cash.
He just likes London?
That's probably it. His family's probably settled. Yeah. I still think he could have done a job for a big team somewhere and got more playing time, but good for Giroud for signing a 2-year deal. Came out yesterday as well that Thiago Silva has also signed a new 2-year deal at Chelsea. So he will be remaining with them. The rumor that heated up the past few days, Nate, I know you will enjoy this, and we have talked about this before, but it is really, really heating up this time. is Jadon Sancho from Borussia Dortmund heading to Man United.
It's hot fire at this point.
It really is.
It is.
It could happen at any point.
There's reports coming out that, basically 80 million pounds is what United is committing to. Dortmund's kind of holding out for an extra 20 pounds of bonuses, but it's right about there. They want to do it before the start of the Euros, which makes sense because as we get in the Euros, you're going to have players just skyrocket as far as values if they do good, and Sancho probably will do good.
Yep.
As a United fan, you got to just beat your head against the wall because I think we've been here with several players where they go, the one team goes, we value them at this, and United goes, yeah, we'll give you this. And then after weeks of battering it around, we end up meeting in the middle anyways.
Yeah.
But it's uber frustrating because you'd think with just 20 million of bonuses, just do it. I mean, it's just, you can sell that in jerseys. You can sell that in Jadon Sancho mugs or bobbleheads.
Yep.
I mean, my God, it's like just
it is frustrating as a fan that it takes so long.
Get it done. Not even that it takes so long. It's like they nickel and dime. He was worth 110. They wanted 110, 120 million pounds 12 months ago. They're willing to go to 100. They've dropped 20 million pounds at this point. Just do it. It's like, how much better do you think you're going to get?
It will happen at some point. I think we're all resigned to that fact. Some news that was released late yesterday, and I use the word released, I'll use it again. David Luiz was released by Arsenal. This is unfortunate because, to be honest, I love watching David Luiz play. And as you guessed it, I'm not an Arsenal fan. This dude will make one stunning play a game and then 3 mistakes in the game. It is always fun when he's on the field because dude just does some bonehead stuff, just dumb stuff. He'll save a goal on the goal line using whatever body part he can, and then he'll give a penalty away the next minute, and then he'll get caught in no man's land, and you're just laughing your butt off at David Luiz. So it's unfortunate that he's been released from Arsenal. He is 33, I believe. So where does he end up next? He could very well end up at a lower division team. He won't end up at a lower division team. He could end up at a team lower in the Premiership or
Michigan Revolution, or not Michigan Revolution, the Rev DC.
That's what I was about to say. The next stop could be the MLS.
Yes.
He is a very iconic character with his hair. People know a lot about him. He could be closing out in his career and want a little bit of a payday. The MLS could be his next stop.
Plus, it's pure entertainment.
It is very entertaining. I'm pretty sure he'd be a good player in the MLS, but he will still make bonehead plays, so don't you worry, folks. Something else that came out late yesterday from Man United, they're putting together a fan advisory board.
Ooh.
This is just garbage. This is
Where
just the
do I sign?
Glazers spitting garbage, trying to keep the fans happy. Do you really think a fan advisory board is going to sway the Glazers in anything, in any decision?
Yes, and I can't wait for the first announcement from the fan advisory board to be fire the Glazers.
Yeah, exactly. It's nothing. It's not going to happen. So it will happen, but it's not going to mean anything. So we'll move on because...
Are you suggesting that a billionaire owner is doing something just for show?
That is exactly what I'm suggesting and saying, yes. All right, so why don't we talk about the big tournament that's starting in 6 days?
Oh, the State Cup? Michigan State Cup?
That actually happens today and tomorrow. Michigan State Cup is today and tomorrow.
There's a bigger tournament then?
But I'm talking about the Euros.
Oh.
The Euro. So I've heard a lot of people call it the Euro, the 2020 Euros, the 2021 Euros.
It is advertised 2020 Euros.
I know,
if you go to
ESPN
ESPN
it as the 2020, and I'm sorry, it is a little confusing. I think we just call it the Euros. So moving forward, I'm calling it the Euros. So the Euros start this upcoming Friday, so 6 days from today. I believe there's one game, and then we really get into it hot and heavy on that Saturday and Sunday. The teams have 33 provisional man squads right now. They're all paring it down to the 26. So due to the pandemic and the workload that a lot of the players have had over the last over the last year and a half, they are now going to be able to have 26-man squads entering into the Euros. I just want to read off the favorites. The favorites right off the bat that the odds makers have given are France, Belgium, England, and Germany.
How did England get in there?
Say again?
What?
Yes. My prediction is England to win it all. We'll wait on Nate's prediction, but why don't we take a quick look here on the screen? We've got the groups, and I'll read them off here. Group A, we've got Turkey, Italy, Wales, and Switzerland. Nate, who do we think comes out of Group A there?
Italy and Switzerland. Ebola, Switzerland, Ebola. You got Zuber, you got Sumer as a goalkeeper. You got several good players.
This is actually a really good group.
Yeah.
A lot of people may kind of just sleep on Group A, but
no, it's not.
Turkey has got some ballers, I tell you. And Wales, they can be very organized, and they will get a win in this tournament. I think we're resigned to the fact that Italy will sure come out of this.
I think so.
I think they're the clear winner of this group. Who gets second?
Switzerland.
It very well could be Switzerland, but you wouldn't be surprised if it happened to be the other two teams.
For sure. I mean, the other two teams definitely have a solid chance at it. I just think Switzerland's very strong with Ebola. I think he's a very good player. I think their goalkeeper, Sumer, again, I'm just listing off Bundesliga players because I'm a Bundesliga super mark. But at the same time, I think they got a solid squad, and they play very well together.
Group B is consisting of Denmark, Finland, Belgium, and Russia. I'm going to guess we're both going to say Belgium coming out of this one?
No, sir.
Oh my.
No, sir.
Explain that, because Belgium have some of the best players in the world.
Yeah, well, your midfield's dead.
Because Kevin De Bruyne has gone down injured?
And Wetzel. So if Wetzel isn't playing, and De Bruyne if he doesn't play, this is a different team. And Denmark is not a slouch team. You have Poulsen, who's a very good forward. You got Eriksen, who is very good. You got Vest, Schmeichel in the goalkeeper role, who is a really good goalkeeper. Vestgaard, who's a solid center back. Denmark is a solid team. That's why they're ranked number 10. And I think they come through if Belgium doesn't have De Bruyne. I think it changes the game. I think you're lacking in the midfield.
I agree. My picks for this group are Denmark and Belgium to come out.
Mine's Denmark and Russia.
Because Russia's note that.
Seriously, Russia's one of those teams. Nobody knows who they are because they all play in Russia. But
nobody watches the Russian league, and it's very hard to find.
But they're very good. So I think Russia is going to be one of those surprises. I think this is going to be that surprise group where who you would expect to win, and it happens every year in tournaments. Who you expect to win isn't who's going to win.
Agreed. I love it. Group C: Netherlands, Ukraine, Austria, and North Macedonia.
Oh. North Macedonia.
All right, we got to go quick through this because
Netherlands and Austria.
Netherlands, same.
And Austria.
I'm the same on
guess
that
who plays on Austria?
A bunch of Stuttgart players.
6'6" forward in a Sasha Klejstik, and you also have the best Alba there is, David Alba. And I think you're going to have a very good Austrian side and a very good Netherlands side go forward.
Austria just lost to England in a friendly 1-0, and they looked very good. They could have actually put some balls in the back of the net and won that game. Group D is one of my favorites: England, Croatia, Scotland, and the Czech Republic. Who you got coming out of Group D, Nate?
Well, England for sure. I think will win the group. I do, but I think Croatia is going to come in second. With you got Rybak, Kramnik, Perisic, Modric, a lot of tons of ick going on, and those icks are just going to come through for Croatia.
I agree. I think it's going to be England and Croatia that come out of Group D. Group E is another fun one: Spain, Sweden, Poland, and Slovakia. Who you got coming out of Group E, Nate?
I say Spain and I say Poland with a bunch of question marks because I don't think they're that good. I'm just going to say that they're going to win because of Lewandowski, but you could see somebody else go through on that one.
I got Spain and Sweden coming out of that group.
It wouldn't be surprised me if it was Sweden. That's one where I don't know who's going to win second.
Yep. And what I think I'm dubbing this, and I think most of the world has Group F, is Group of Death. This group is a powerhouse. You've got Hungary, Portugal, France, and Germany.
And I'll say right now, everyone's going Hungary. Ooh, Hungary is a solid team.
Yep.
Look at the players on that roster where they play. They're gonna upset some people.
Yeah, that's gonna be a great group. And you're right, Hungary could definitely upset one of those teams and really dent their hopes.
And I got Germany and France because of Benji Pavard. Do you want to guess where Benji Pavard used to play?
I'm gonna guess it starts with an S and ends with a Stuttgart.
Oh, you're right.
There you go. He loves Stuttgart, and he tells me every single minute.
Every chance I get to annoy you.
I've got France and Germany coming out of that group. I think France are in the number 1 spot, Germany in the second spot.
That is a false statement, sir.
So in my mind, in my heart, I want to say England go on to win the Euros. I know they'll probably lose in penalties in the quarterfinals or the semifinals. Nate, Stick, if you could show us the picture of Nate and who he's predicting to win in this funny little
incriminating
hat.
evidence.
Oh, it looks like you're picking Diamantschaf, right?
Yeah, this was actually when I was in the Euros in 2018, and surprisingly, the French riot police did not beat me up for this picture.
Yeah, they should have.
They should.
They absolutely should have.
Yeah. So, but that's who I got going.
All right.
Germany all the way.
We will talk about the Euros next week, and we will have a video this week with Nate and I, our Bundesliga chat time video that we do every week. We are going to focus on the Euros and break down some of the squads and some of the players, again, where they play in the Bundesliga and around the world. So be sure to join us in the middle of the week for the Bundesliga chat time video. All right, we're going to jump in and do some local pro soccer right now, brought to you by one of my favorite teams, DCFC, Detroit City FC. Detroit City FC men's team played this past Wednesday in a rain-soaked Keyworth Stadium, winning 3-0 against the LA Force. Still unbeaten on the season. DCFC just keep rolling, I tell you. Currently, Detroit City FC is at 936 minutes without letting a goal in. Sorry. Nate Steinwasser and that back line of Detroit City FC have just closed it down.
Strong first name.
Nate, yes.
Strong first name.
Nate Steinwasser is keeping clean sheets left and right. 936 minutes without a goal is tremendous. Next game for Detroit City FC is tonight at Keyworth Stadium against Stumptown FC. So tune in. That game will be streamed live. You can tune in to We Are Soccer. We'll share and tweet that link out for you guys to watch. We'll have, after the game, myself and We Are Soccer will go live with a breakdown of the game and how it went. So join us in there.
They're full capacity now, right?
Not quite yet.
Not yet? Okay,
not quite
sorry.
yet.
I know it is soon.
Yes, coming, I think in the next couple of days
Awesome.
here, they will be up and ready for full capacity.
Awesome.
The Detroit City FC women lost, unfortunately, last Saturday. It's 3-1 to the Chicago Mustangs. Kind of a bit of a bummer of a game. The first loss on the season. Detroit City FC women fall to 3-1 on the season. Their next home game is Saturday, June 12th. That's 1 week from today. So get your tickets now. You can go on to debtcityfc.com to get tickets. Big shout out to Kenna White for being named to the UWS Team of the Week. Well done, Kenna. She was one of my favorite players to watch. Just a workhorse up top for Detroit City FC. Such a nice touch. And she can absolutely jump out of the stadium when she goes for a head ball. Trust me, what a player to watch. All right, we got to move right along here. We're going to have some guests shortly. I want to make sure we kind of talk about some youth soccer before we get to our two guests who are going to be joining us. This week, as we mentioned earlier, is State Cup for Michigan here. State Cup being played up in Saginaw in Michigan. The Michigan Jaguars, one of my favorite clubs for youth soccer, they have 7 teams competing this weekend. They better be traveling south at the end of this weekend on I-75 with some trophies, all right? I want to see silverware, Jaguars teams. Let's see if you guys can bring home some silverware for the club there. Nate, do you think any team specifically, any coach from the Jags that you think is going to go ahead and knock out of the park?
I'm going to say the magnificent Ryan Rowe for sure, because he's a CW3 Jags coach.
Love it.
I don't want to be fired by Scobie.
Yep.
No, but there's several good teams up there, several good coaches up there.
James Renton has
James
a great,
is up
I think he has 2 great teams up there.
So you got, I'm hopeful, and we usually have a good showing, so they're going to be close games. If not, hopefully bringing back some silverware, which is always nice for those kids.
Yep, it is. It's great for those kids. I really hope whoever is playing up there this weekend, good luck. I remember as a youth player playing in Saginaw at the State Cup, and it's the big weekend. It's always fun. The weather here in Detroit and Saginaw is absolutely phenomenal this weekend. Good luck, kids. Should be fun. Wish we could be there, but unfortunately, we will not be up there this weekend. So we will be doing some interviews later this week with some of the coaches and players of those winning teams. So good luck, guys. Next weekend does bring about tryouts for all you kids. So youth tryouts start next Saturday, June 12th, and Sunday, June 13th. Quickly, we'll get through these. Kids, show up on time, get the ball down, be confident on the ball, start communicating, move around, don't stand still. Coaches will notice you, all right? So good luck in tryouts. And parents, just some quick tips for you guys. Let your kids have fun. Doesn't matter if your kid makes the A team, the B team, or the C team. As long as they're playing, having fun, they will find a spot on a team, all right? I know a lot of good clubs here in Michigan. I know a lot of great coaches here in Michigan. They will find a spot for your kid no matter what team they are on. It will be a good thing just to be out there playing. Do not yell at your kid. Do not pressure them to make the A team. Whatever team they fall on will be a good thing for them. All right? Stick, if you've got it, can you show the next level training clip? All right, kids, so as you can see, that was my friend Aaron Bird in Next Level Training. You can see how in that little training clip, he gets the ball down, he's confident, he's moving, he's demanding the ball. Things like that, even in tryouts and little scrimmages that you do, that's what's going to get you noticed. So do me a favor, if you're online, go ahead and watch some of the training clips that Aaron and Next Level Training have. Go ahead and watch some of the clips that we have on the We Are Soccer. That will get you prepared for tryouts next weekend. I highly recommend you don't do it the night before. Start now, and every day with the ball, get out there for 5 to 10 minutes. Just get the ball down, get it moving around, get your ankles loose, be confident on the ball. It'll get you ready for tryouts, trust me. All right? All right, I'm gonna do a quick lead in here, and we're gonna come back in about 2 minutes after this little break, and we're gonna bring up the LCFC owner, Craig Beebe, and Nick Morano of OCFC, Livonia City Football Club and Oakland County Football Club. And we're gonna have a little conversation with those guys. But right now, we're gonna throw it to my friends and the little outing we had at Superior Family Dental. So Stick, if you could play that video, I'd really appreciate it. All right, today we're at Superior Family Dental with Dr. Randy and Dr. Jeff and their team. And we're gonna have a little fun, play some games. All right, let's go. All right, we're inside Superior Family Dental. We're gonna have a little fun. We're gonna put the water bottle down, we're gonna put the ball down. The doctors and the staff are each gonna take a kick to see if they can knock the water bottle over. Let's go. Pretty good. All right, so Dr. Randy and Dr. Jeff, the official team dentists for the Detroit Red Wings. Obviously, we're not hockey, we're soccer, but mouth guards have become a big thing in soccer. Can you guys talk about that for a second?
Yeah, a lot of people don't think you need them for soccer, but they do help prevent obviously tooth trauma. There's also a role with concussions. So we do make custom fitted mouth guards for all sports.
I totally agree, and with the soccer players, I feel that they refuse to wear the mouth guard because of speaking, which is real important during the play of the game, but really it's the pressure laminated custom fitted mouth guard is what they need. The importance of it is with the boil and bites that we've all grown up with is they don't fit appropriately, and they don't fit appropriately for long. Usually after a game or two, it's deformed. With the properly fitted custom mouth guard, it's fitted, most importantly, not just to the front teeth for trauma, but to the back teeth for concussions. So see your dentist, come in to Superior Family Dental, ask for a custom fitted mouth guard.
All right, Dr. Randy, Dr. Jeff, thank you for having us at We Are Soccer today. We will see you in 6 months.
Thanks, Craig. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right, thanks to Superior Family Dental for having us out to do that clip. All right, as you can see, we've got a different kind of setup for the next 20 minutes here. We are joined by Nick Marana of Oakland County Football Club. Nick, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for being here. We also have Craig Beebe from Livonia City Football Club.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no
I'm gonna
worries.
say right now the chat's blowing up with "I love Craig Beebe" all over the place. You got a following here, sir.
Big following.
Yeah.
All right, so Craig and Nick, they own or part owners in. We'll have to delve in a little bit better here, a little bit further of local soccer clubs. So in the last couple of years, there's been a few clubs that have started up, and two of the ones that have taken note here for me in the last couple of years is the Livonia City one. I've got a lot of friends who play for it. Craig, you and I have known each other for quite a few years. And then another one that started up was the Oakland County Football Club, right? And that was started by yourself. And do you own that by yourself, or you have part owners, or how's that work?
I have a co-owner, Theo Futris, is with me as well. So we actually started with 3 in the beginning with Ben Rhodey, who's actually helping out with Livonia right now, and then transitioned to Theo and myself.
All right. So why don't we, Nick, talk about Oakland County FC and the league you guys play in, who you play against, how the season's been going, and then tell us what the plans are moving forward. So what league are you in first?
We're in USL League 2, so United Soccer League 2.
Okay, perfect. And what teams do you play against? Local, regional, national? What's that bring about?
So the biggest team we play, is a lot of people familiar with, is Flint City Bucks, who we're Michigan Bucks. We play Fort Wayne FC, who are going to be making the move over to League 1 here in a couple years. They're part owned by DeMarcus Beasley, so they're a big club. We play Cincinnati Kings Hammer, Grand Rapids FC, Kalamazoo FC, AFC Ann Arbor is in the division. So we have some of those teams that came over from the NPSL last year. So it's a regional league. It's in the Great Lakes division, but it's much part of a national
Lovely.
league.
Yeah,
division.
perfect.
So you brought up something interesting and something I was actually going to ask, because I was kind of overseas a bit when all this started happening. There was this sudden influx of USL2 teams. How'd that come about? How did you guys decide to jump on that? Why did you guys decide to jump on that? Is there a backstory to that, or is it just so happened by coincidental? Because next thing I knew, there's all these USL2 teams popping up in the area.
Yeah, I think it's just it's that rapid expansion.
You guys had to get together and just say, "Hey, here's a good idea."
Well, there were some teams. I mean, you guys are all aware. I mean, there's teams that are jumping from league to league. It seems as though every year. And back in 2019 was that big year of teams, whether they be leaving NPSL, joining USL2, or leaving the NPSL to go pro, like Detroit City, Michigan Stars, and so on and so forth. But it's funny because we were part of the Michigan Milk Cup, which was a bunch of local teams, and we had made the run where we were beating some, at the time we were part of the United Premier Soccer League. And it was looked at, even though it's the same level, Division 4 and everything, it was looked at a step lower than NPSL, USL2, so on and so forth. And we had beaten Kalamazoo, Grand Rapids, and we were going to go to the finals against the Bucks. And it was funny because right before that game, USL2, they did reach out to us because they were seeing what we were doing at our level. We were performing well in the field, and both on the field and off the field. And it just kind of took off from there. I mean, unfortunately, we didn't get to play the Bucks that day. But just they saw our momentum, they reached out to us, and we just kind of jumped on that train and
awesome.
Went from there.
Excellent. And Craig, Livonia City Football Club. You guys have been around for a couple of years now. Why don't you tell us when you guys started, how it came about, and progressing forward, and the league you're in and everything like that. Give us a little bit of the story.
Yeah, we started back in, well, the idea started in 2015. We actually took the field in 2016. The first league we played in, and we still have reserve teams in it as well, is the Michigan Premier Soccer League. I think a lot of Nick, I know, used to run a team in the MPSL. That's where I started. That's where a lot of us all started, was there. The days of the Detroit Arsenal, the old Carpathia Kickers, all of those teams. So as Nick kind of talked about, there's just kind of been an influx of teams the last couple of years, and another popular one aside from the USL2 is what we did. We went to the Midwest Premier League. What kind of attracted us to that is, and it's kind of club run. So all of the clubs have their say in it. It's a nonprofit, just like Livonia City set up as a nonprofit. So the teams all run the league. We make the decisions. We have meetings. We discuss what we think is best for all of us. Some of the teams we play against: Detroit City's U23s, Michigan Stars U23s, West Michigan Bearings, BIH Grand Rapids, Lansing Common. You guys saw how they launched or whatever. Ourselves, Lake St. Clair, and Inter Detroit, all from the Michigan Premier Soccer League. So we kind of just all came together. There was a group of Michigan teams, and I think the popular league for 2020, even though we really didn't get to play, was the USL2 and the Midwest Premier League. It seems that's where it was, and maybe the year prior it was the UPSL. And it's hard to say, like Nick was saying, every year there seems to be like that one league that everybody's attracted to. A couple of years ago it was the NPSL.
I agree. I agree 100% with you. Last year seemed to be, USL2 and NPSL. I want to say, though, that both you guys have hit upon a topic that, there's just this influx of teams, but without the players and the good players to fill those teams, there is no team. So I think it speaks a lot to the soccer community here in Metro Detroit. The amount of players and good players we have is, I've said it for years, and it's really becoming it's showing its fruit right now with you guys starting these clubs and the other clubs in the leagues, is that the players here, the teams that are forming every single year, there's more players, better players. And I play now, I'm older again, but I don't play at the level that you guys are playing at, but I'm still seeing players that are my age still playing, and teams in the local beer leagues that it's not a normal beer league. It's like, holy crap, we got ex-college players out here. We got ex-studs out here. But now we're seeing the 20-somethings, the late teen players that you guys are picking up. And this sport is just picking up momentum in this state. So I think you guys have done a real nice job of starting these clubs. And you guys have multiple teams as well, and you're just picking up these players, and they're looking for places to play to showcase their talents. And I think you guys are doing a very good job picking that up and helping these players by starting these clubs. So it again just shows that, man, Metro Detroit and the state of Michigan, to be honest, is just a hotbed of soccer talent. Nate, I cut you off. Go ahead.
No, that's all right. On the other side, because you talked a lot about your men's team, you also have a women's team that plays as well.
Yeah. So we play in UWS 2. DCFC is in UWS 1, but they also have a UWS 2 team. We likewise we started in the MPSL the year after we started our men's team. There was girlfriends, and there was girls like reaching out, hey, do you have a women's team? And that was the next logical step, was that. And we talk about the growth in men's soccer or whatever, all the men's teams. The women's team, there was just 12 teams that popped up this last year. UWS 2 has 11 or 12 teams in it. UWS 1 has another 6 or 7 teams in it. The women's soccer has really grown over the last year as well.
I'll be very honest. About 10 years ago, I wasn't too interested in women's soccer. It just didn't quite appeal to me. But in the last couple of years, women's soccer here in the state of Michigan, I mean, the level of play is just stunning. These girls can absolutely straight out play. The skills, whether they play for DCFC or just a league or two under that, it is entertaining. I have been really entertained with some of the women's leagues and just really surprised. So it's something We Are Soccer, myself are taking note of, because I give it another couple of years and there's going to be an influx of women's teams, and the players only going to get better.
Speaking of which, OFC doesn't have, not to put you on the spot, you guys don't have a women's team right now. Is there any thought about expanding into that area?
We've been approached by a couple individuals on the possibility of starting a women's team. It's one of those, we're going to walk first before we run. We just joined a new league, COVID last year, so it was one of those, let's solidify our spot in this league now and then move on, to a women's team and maybe to like an academy team is what we're thinking of as well. So little things like that is definitely.
Guys, I got a daughter. I'm just trying to figure out where she's going to play. Okay.
There's plenty of options. Like you said, there's a lot. I feel like the talent's always been there. There just hasn't been the teams to really expose it. Now there
Agreed.
is.
Yeah, I absolutely 100% agree. But you guys, and also some of the coaches you have on your staff, your guys' staff is comprised of people who have grown up playing, who know what they're doing. They're not just a dad or a random dude. Like, these are like when I was growing up, it's just like, hey, this gym teacher, this random dad says he's got a free evening, so he's going to be your coach, right? Like, you guys are bringing in legit coaches with licensing. So that is what's really helping to progress the sport forward as well. I do want to hit upon something you talked about, Nick. Last year, you guys obviously both had these clubs. COVID hit. It kind of probably put a little bit of a dampener on it. The influx of money probably wasn't quite there. You guys you didn't roll in here in limos and Rolls Royces, right? These clubs aren't making a ton of money for you. This is a passion and a love that you guys both have. So Nick, you and I think we played against each other 15, almost 20 years ago, man. It's nutty, right? Maybe not quite that long ago, but about 10 or 15 years ago. This is just a passion and a love that you have, right? So this is you bringing soccer and really helping progress it forward. Is there a chance for more money in a good way to come into your club and to progress forward and get more teams in? Is that the idea for you guys?
Oh yeah, that's definitely the vision. I mean, we're just like Craig. I mean, we're as grassroots like as they come. We start with the community support. The income comes from sponsors. It comes from game day ticket sales. But we're as grassroots as they come. And hopefully, as the years progress, we get a little bit bigger, more awareness. That means more sponsors come in, more people coming to our game. But it is definitely our vision to expand our footprint, whether it be with a women's team, with an academy team, and just see how far we can take. But it's a passion project through and through.
Same for you, right, Craig? Just a passion and a love. And you and I have known each other for a long time, and I know you just love the sport and love pushing it. So I'm guessing it's the same, right?
Yeah. I set it up as a 501c3 nonprofit. I'm the president for now. I started the club. If someone else wanted to, come and run the club, they could. It's not about me. It's about the group. I think Detroit City does a really good job of being fan-centric. I always say to our players, we're player-centric. It's all about the players.
Sure.
We make decisions together as a group. We've traveled this year when we go to Iowa for regionals with the U23s and Buffalo, New York, and the NISA Independent Cup. That'll be our 11th and 12th state we've hit. So
wow.
We've traveled all over the place together as a group. U.S. Open Cup, U.S. Amateur Cup, Nationals, Regionals, but it's all player centric, and it's all on them. I always tell the story. We went down to Louisiana for a U.S. Open Cup game, and we showed up with 18 players, 2 coaches. Detroit Soccer Central at the time traveled with us as well. So we travel well, and it's very player-centric at our club.
I love to hear that it's player-centric, because as I said, Michigan is just a state that's it has players who are so good. So it's great to see a club like doing that has the best interests of the players at heart. I was going to go out and try out for your U23 team until I realized I missed it by like this much, the cutoff date.
Oh, come on.
I missed the age cutoff date. I don't think
we got an over 30 team for you.
And both.
I don't think I'm good for that either. Actually, I'm not very good anymore.
Both you guys got your games streaming online at times for people who can't make it, right? Mm-hmm. That was a question that kind of popped up here. So can they find that on your sites or?
On the site, MyCujo is the app we've been using a lot. A lot of the lower league teams have been using MyCujo.
So. And the OCFC guys?
Yeah, we're on YouTube. We had a couple difficulties with like 2 of our first 3 games, but we got it all set out. So we got a game tonight, so we're ready to rock.
I was going to say, so next OCFC game, I don't know if you want me to call them OCFC or Oakland County.
Whatever you want to call it. Oakland County's fine.
I love Oakland County. I love that. I live in Oakland County. So next game for you guys is tonight against Kalamazoo FC, correct?
Grand Rapids FC.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had that written down wrong.
We played Kalamazoo on Wednesday.
Oh, that's right. That's probably where I got that from. And LCFC, the next game is tomorrow night, 6 p.m. At Lake St. Clair.
We got a double header.
Ooh.
Our women's play Lake St. Clair women at 4 o'clock, and then at 6 o'clock our men's teams play each other. So we got a
Oh,
double
lovely.
header. Yeah.
All right. Cool. Well, guys, I got to be honest. I love what you're doing. I love following your stuff on your social channels. We Are Soccer viewers and friends, go give these guys a share, a like, subscribe to all their stuff. It's really fun. I've watched some of the games online. It's really good soccer. I got to be honest. One thing I would be remiss if I didn't mention. Love your guys' websites, both of them. Phenomenal. Love them. You guys have done a great job on the digital aspect online with your social stuff and then your websites. So I really hope that you guys continue and have success moving forward. It's been fun to watch. I just can't speak highly enough of the work you guys are doing for the players. One thing I do want to say is the players are great. The level of soccer is great. And as the players and the level grows, more fans are coming into the game. I bumped into a guy last week who is on the We Are Soccer group, and he was telling me all about OCFC, and he just couldn't stop, talking about how the level, and I just couldn't agree more with him, like the level of soccer, and I'd mentioned LCFC, and he was like, yep, I've heard of them, and he's like, I plan to go out to one of those games. People in the state of Michigan right now are consuming soccer. They're eating it up. Now, there's some big tournaments this summer with the Euros, the U.S. men's national team's playing, the Olympics with the women's team. That's all very well and good for people to watch late at night on TV. But they're going to want to get out and go to games. Detroit City's fun to watch. It's fun to go to those games. But you guys also provide a really entertaining value for the money. So highly recommend you guys get out this summer. Go to an OCFC and an LCFC game. You will not be disappointed. Gentlemen, really appreciate you coming in. Really appreciate what you do. Please keep it up. And thanks again, all right?
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thanks for
really
having me.
appreciate what you do.
All right, boys. All right, well, I think that's going to wrap us up here from We Are Soccer. Big thank you to Woodward Sports and Stick behind the screens there, running the magic. Thank you, boys. Appreciate it. I also want to make sure you guys share, follow, tweet, do whatever you do on the socials for the We Are Soccer. Give our sponsors and our friends a like and a subscription on all those social channels as well. So thank you to Detroit City FC. Thank you to the Michigan Jaguars, Tim Merritt, Ross Mortgage, Superior Family Dental, and Aaron Bird and Next Level Training. Thank you again to Craig Beebe of Livonia City Football Club, Nick Marana of OCFC. Really appreciate you boys showing up. All right?
No problem. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Prost.